Which exercises should you avoid if you have arthritis? So we just described, people with arthritis, or if you're developing arthritis, actually have maybe some, they're wanting to exercise, right? But they don't know, like, is this painful? Is it going to make my arthritis worse? I heard I shouldn't do deadlifts. I heard I shouldn't do squats, all these things. So I'm going to hopefully clear some of that up for you and describe which exercises you should avoid, if any, if you have arthritis. So for starters, I want to kind of reframe this idea of exercises being bad. There are no good or bad exercises. Some exercises may be better for some specific people, and some exercises may be better in a certain context to get you stronger. For example, if I'm working with a senior who has never worked out before and they have arthritis in their knees, I would want them to do a squat, but they may not be able to do a full range of motion squat without having pain in those areas. Because of this, I would then have them do maybe a half squat, maybe a half squat hold, trying to build them up over term to doing a full range of motion squat. So as we can see here, the exercise itself isn't bad, and especially if we're able to move kind of that squatting pattern. Just for example, this is just talking about knee pain and squatting, very prevalent. We're building that movement pattern. We're getting you stronger to hopefully allow yourself to go towards something that's more of a quote unquote harder exercise, right? A full range of motion squat, especially with a barbell on your back, that's going to be very intense, and a lot of people can't do that right away, especially if you're having arthritis. Another thing that I want people to consider when looking at exercises and arthritis is that some exercises might simply just challenge the tissues in your body a little bit more. So if you are practicing deadlifting and you have back pain, or you're just trying to pick something up off the ground and you have back pain, you may be thinking, I shouldn't do that movement because I have arthritis and it's causing me a lot of pain. Well, I would challenge you to reconsider that notion, because you could probably do a similar movement without nearly as much pain. As in, you might be able to bend to the ground and pick up a pencil, for example, without any pain, right? We're trying to work lighter loads in a way that is manageable for you, manageable for your arthritis, because as we just described of why people with arthritis should work out and exercise, we're trying to improve blood flow through that area, we're trying to increase the overall strength, and we're trying to desensitize some of that area from your brain to tell you that, hey, every time I do a squat, it's not always going to cause knee pain, just for example. In addition to this, I would highly recommend to try a large amount of different exercise variations. If you squat and there's knee pain, maybe you can try doing a leg press, for example, or a leg extension machine at the gym. If you have walking issues, maybe you have knee pain or hip pain when you walk, try biking. It's kind of a similar movement. We're trying to just desensitize the area. We're trying to use these other exercises that maybe it feels like we should avoid to hopefully slowly add in back the exercises that seem bad. So we never want to fully avoid that movement. We never want to say that, hey, this exercise is completely dangerous, because guess what? You are going to be exposed to a lot of different movements in your daily life every single day. And if you aren't able to do those, you can't simply say, hey, I'm just not going to pick up this item off the ground, or hey, I'm just not going to squat down to get into a chair and out of a chair. We need to do these movements. So trying to strengthen in ways that don't cause issues, and just moving slowly into all these movements and being, I wouldn't say careful, but you can err on the side of the caution. You don't need to rush this, especially when we're dealing with arthritis and pain in general. Doing all the exercises are great, but some might not be great for you right now. That's an important key point and takeaway to note when looking at that movement.